Hi, my name is Boris Leath, and I'm a proud father of 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy. Our oldest is 13, our middle child is 11, soon to be 12, and our son is 10. Growing up with a father, my dad, he was an awesome provider and still is. We grew up on a farm in North Carolina. Man, we worked all the time. My brothers can attest to that. We worked all the time. My dad, he showed us how to work with our hands, showed us how to produce. But the one thing he lacked in is really having a relationship with us. I can't recall a time when we sat down and just kicked it as father and son and talked about what a boy goes through, those emotions, those hormones, what we deal with as little boys, as well as what it takes to be a man. And I really think my dad didn't have that relationship with his father, and he didn't know how to reproduce that. As time went on, my mom and dad got divorced, and man, that crushed me. I think it mostly crushed me because I was really upset the way my dad did my mother, how he left her. And I saw my mom crying, and saw my mom dealing with depression and dealing with the different stuff that comes with divorce, and how even our dad took out the emotions on us. The emotions and the hatred he had for my mom, he took it out on us, which I felt wasn't fair for any child. As time went on, I went to college later on, and I joined a Christian campus ministry, and I know that was God. God has a hand orchestrated in that. And during that time, we were praying. We had a time where we started praying for our parents, and particularly our fathers. And at first, I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to pray for my dad. I was still upset. But we began to start praying for our parents, and God started to soften my heart towards my dad. It was a process. It didn't happen overnight. It was a process where God began to soften my heart, and I began to have compassion for my dad and affection for my dad. I would come back home. Even after I got married, I'd visit my dad, and I began to hug him initially. It was hard at first, but the more I did it, the better it became. And then another episode where my dad, he got remarried, and all those emotions, those hurts came back up, and it was still, it was like a wall that came back up that I had to tear back down in order to love my dad again. And to not only love my dad, but accept his wife, because that was a part of him now. And to not accept her or being not accepting him. So God helped me in accepting his wife, as well as loving my dad continually, or to even improve in loving my dad. As a father, I just going through being a child, a product of divorce. I said I want to be there for my children, not just physically there, but I want to be there emotionally. I want to be there spiritually. I want to be there mentally for our children, my wife and our children. Not just be there, in the home, or just being a good provider, but I want to be there for their band recitals, for their reward ceremonies they get at school, or be there for the parent-teacher conferences, things that men we don't want to go to, we send our wives to. But I want to be there because I want to know the heartbeat, of our children, my wife and our children. I want to know what's going on in their minds. I want to know what they like, playing video games with them, just hanging out with them, and just kick it around, just talk to them, share them, know their fears, as well as know that that even learn their friends and the people they deal with, so you can even know how to relate to them better as a father. Talking about relationships, I recently took our daughters out for Valentine's Day, and it was we talked about boys, and it was an awkward moment for the daughters, because they didn't want to talk about the subject. But I see as a father how I model out to them how I treat my wife, how I talk to my wife, how I respect my wife. They see that, and they're going to use that to even choosing a mate, choosing a male, choosing a husband. Not only that, but also the attributes that I carry as a father, the godliness, that I desire to model out. They're going to look for those same qualities in a man. Even my son, even showing him how to treat a woman, how to open a door for a woman, how to respect his sisters, being a stronger vessel, being a stronger person, not using our strongness, our strength to overpower women. Just showing my son how to be an example to even as soon to be husband to his wife. But most important also is being a godly example to our children. I have the privilege in drawing our children to the Lord as well as drawing them away from the Lord. And my desire is to draw them to the Lord, the way I treat them, the way I discipline them, the way I talk to them, the way I respect them as a father. And I never want to draw them away from God in the things I do. If I do, I want to be quick to apologize to our children, apologize to our daughters, apologize to our son, and not be so prideful that I can't apologize to them. But being a father is an awesome privilege. I get a chance to be an initiator, showing them how to read the Bible, showing them how to pray, showing them how to respect others, showing them how to appreciate others. Being a father, do I fall short? There's many times I do. But by the grace of God, God is helping me be a better father as well as a better husband that my children can see and they can also model after. So I am proud to be a father as well as being in their lives. And I want them to look back and say, when they're older, when they can talk to their sons and their daughters and say, you know what, my dad was there for me, not just there for me, but he was there for me emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And to this day, I love the way my dad sacrificed for us. So I am a proud father of my wife and I children, and I thank you for this privilege and honor for telling you about our children.